This is The Real Weight, where we explore how your life and your physiology are connected. I'm Dominick. Let's talk about something a lot of people feel, but they don't really understand. That place where it feels like your body just won't change. You're trying, you're putting in effort, you're making some better decisions, and still something feels stuck. The weight isn't moving the way you expected, or it moves a little, then stops, or it comes right back. And when that happens, most people go to one conclusion. I need to be stricter, eat less, cut more, do more, and push harder. That's the message most people have been taught. But here's the problem. That approach assumes the body's resistant, like it's doing something wrong, like it just needs to be forced into change. But the body doesn't work like that. The body adapts. That's what it does. And if something feels stuck, it's usually not resistance, it's adaptation. Now think about everything we've talked about leading up to this. Stress, sleep disruption, blood sugar instability, emotional load, identity shifts, tension in relationships. All of that matters because your body isn't responding to one thing. It's responding to the entire environment you're living in. Not just your food, not just workouts, your environment. And when that environment feels inconsistent or stressful or uncertain, the body adjusts in a very specific way. It becomes more conservative, more protective. Energy gets managed differently. Recovery slows. Signals change. And one of the ways that shows up is the body holding on. Now, this is where a lot of people misunderstand what's happening. They think the answer is more control, more restriction, more discipline. But those things often add more stress to a system that's already under pressure. But when that stress increases, the body becomes even more protected. So now you're in a loop, trying harder, creating more stress, and getting less response. And that can be frustrating. And it makes people feel like they're doing something wrong. What if the issue isn't that you're not doing enough? What if the issue is that your body doesn't feel safe changing yet? Not safe in a dramatic way, just not stable, not predictable, not regulated. Because change requires energy. And the body doesn't invest energy in change when it's trying to manage stress at the same time. That's where metabolism gets misunderstood. People think it's just about calories or just about exercise. But metabolism is really about how the body's managing energy under the conditions it's in. If the conditions are supportive, the body becomes more responsive, more flexible, more efficient. If the conditions are stressful, the body becomes more guarded, more conservative, more resistant to change. Not because there's something wrong, but because it's doing its job. Now here's the part that ties everything together. If your life feels like constant pressure, if your sleep isn't consistent, if your body is constantly adjusting to stress, and then you layer restriction on top of that, you're asking your body to change while giving it less support to do it. That's the disconnect. And that's why so many people feel stuck. They're trying to force an outcome without changing the conditions that drive the outcome. So the real question becomes not how do I make my body let go, but what does my body need to feel stable enough to respond? That's a very different conversation. It leads to a very different decisions, not extreme ones, better ones, more supportive ones, more sustainable ones. When the conditions improve, the body usually responds. Not right away, but steadily. If this resonates with you, make sure you're following the show, because this is where everything starts to come together, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. For now, just think about this. Instead of asking, why won't my body let go? Try asking, what is my body responding to right now? So just sit with that, and I'll see you in the next episode.